Thanks for joining us for today's webinar. In the spirit of reconciliation, we acknowledge the traditional custodians of country throughout Australia and their connections to land, sea and community. We pay our respects to the elders past and present and extend that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders. My name's Nell Thompson and I'm Secretary of the Australian Institute of Animal Management, and I'll be hosting the webinar for you today. I've been on the AIM committee since 2013 and I'm also the coordinator of the National Getting to Zero program. The Australian Institute of Animal Management, or as we call it AIM, is the national peak body representing local government animal management officers. The AIM committee consists of a wide range of professionals engaged in the various aspects of animal management. AIM seeks to support those engaged in the business of animal management and the function itself by providing training and information, opportunities for networking and collaboration, and by encouraging the use of best practice policy and practices. AIM understands the significant pressures placed on local government and related sector service providers when working in the companion animal management space. We always welcome new members, and you can join and encourage your colleagues to join via our website at www.aim.org.au. Our presentation today will be around 50 minutes and around 10 minutes of question time once the presentation is concluded. And the recording of this webinar will be accessible via our website to all members to watch at any time. We're going to ask that everyone mutes themselves during the presentation. And if you have any questions, you can start putting them in the Q&A section and we'll get through as many as we can at the end of the session. If you have quick questions that relate to your understanding of the content, put your hand up using the buttons at the bottom of your screen, and we're happy to answer them during the presentation. If you have more questions or we don't get to yours during the question time, you can send a message to our Facebook page and we'll get to it that way. As always, please excuse any working from home background noises that may filter through. I'm very pleased to introduce Laura Walker as our presenter today. 8 years ago, Laura joined the team at PetRescue, and she's worn many different hats in that time. From marketing to graphics, projects to tech, she's found herself involved in all aspects of the organisation. With a passion for turning small ideas into big impact programs, Laura's current role sees her as PetRescue's program manager and executive. Laura began the Home2Home program 3 years ago when the team identified the need to support people rehoming their own pets. What started as a small idea seed has now grown into a flagship program at PetRescue. Demand is increasing every day and the team is as busy as ever. When she's not at PetRescue, Laura's busy chasing after 3 small children, a dog, and trying to grow a veggie patch. She's also started to learn to surf because it's never too late. Although I have to say, perhaps it's too late for me, Laura. But anyway, over to you.
Thank you, Nell, and welcome everybody. Hello from beautiful sunny Perth. It's a hot one here today already. I saw that we've got Jane from Bayswater as well, so she'll be feeling it too. Yes, thank you for joining me and everyone who will be watching this back. Thank you for taking time to learn a bit more about our Home2Home program here at PetRescue. So jumping straight into it. What is Home2Home to begin with? So as Nell mentioned, 3 years ago, we saw that there was a group of people that wanted to be part of the rehoming process for their loved pet. But outside of their own networks, the only options that they really had were marketplace type sites, such as Gumtree. And we wanted to create a safe and supportive place for them to be able to do this responsibly. We launched our pilot program in 2020, just as something else large was happening in the world. Really great timing on our behalf in March 2020. But this also happened to be a time where we saw people were facing situations that they never thought that they would be in. And we really realized then that Home2Home is not just about supporting the pet, but it's about supporting the people as well. So one of the big aims of Home2Home is to help to slow the flow of pets entering that animal welfare system by keeping them out of the system completely and safe at home. And with that, to leave space in the shelters for pets that need urgent help, that can't meet the criteria that comes with Home2Home, and to also offer a safe and responsible alternative to Gumtree and the likes of that. And we have seen that with the right support, pet owners are empowered to make great decisions for their pets, and they want to make great decisions for their pets, and to responsibly find them a new home, that they've been able to be part of the process as well. So here I am not going to bore you with everything that this shows, but this is the long version of what our Home2Home process looks like. And this is something that we've created over the last 3 years. As you can see, we don't just open the doors and welcome anyone and everyone in. It's not just, here you go, come in, use our platform, go for it. There's a lot that happens to get someone from the application stage all the way through to the adoption stage. And we've piloted this program for a year, kind of just letting people organically come in, tweaking things and learning a lot as we go. And we've added things to the program, and we've completely scrapped other things and used feedback from the people actually using the program to make these decisions. One of the biggest additions that we brought in throughout the process was the additional checkpoint for dog owners through a phone call with our program specialist, who is Dr. Diana Raymond, who some of you may be familiar with around the AIM world. So one of the ways that we actually saw this come into place was through asking people. An example for this was saying, oh, is your dog good with other dogs? And we would sometimes have people say, yeah, my dog's good with other dogs. And you'd think, oh, okay, great. But what we actually found by digging a bit deeper into that and asking questions was that, oh, their dog is good with their sister's dog or is good with their neighbor's dog. But if we ask that question in a different way and we said, what's your dog like at the dog park? They might say, oh, no, I don't take my dog to the dog park. My dog doesn't like being in situations like that. But my dog is good with my sister's dog. Then things start to change when you start having those conversations with people and you start to learn a bit more and you start to be able to dig a bit deeper. So we saw that as a really big need for our program, to be having those conversations with dog owners and adding that step into the program, which we learned along the way, to be able to make sure that this was a safe and supportive platform for people to be rehoming their pet. And we are still learning and we are still growing at the moment. And we actually have a big phase 2 project starting next month, which we are really excited about, and being able to take this into, stepping it up a level. I can see, is there a question? No, I just saw that pop up. Sorry. You might have to yell at me because I don't see the box.
Leon's got his hand up and I just wanted to check
whether
sure. He's got a question for you now. So Leon, I'll unmute you. Okay, go for it. If you've got a question for Laura now. Nope, might have been a button,
okay.
Button mishit.
All
okay,
good. Just prompt me if there is, because I might not see it. I might be busy talking away in my own world. Great. So this here is more of a simplified diagram of the process for you to kind of get a bit of an understanding about how it works. The red boxes in this diagram are the touch points that the Home2Home team has with the owner and where we help them along. So owners aren't doing this all alone. We are there with them throughout the whole process. You may have heard of platforms similar in the US that are doing something similar. There's one called Rehome, and with their type of program, owners go ahead and do it all on their own on the platform. There's no contact with the people behind the scenes. But this is something that we really felt strongly about and passionately about, that we wanted to be there to help these owners through the whole stage of this process. So we have deliberately got these steps throughout that we work with them. And we also, down the other end, once the pet moves into their new home, we keep in touch with the adopters there, and we have a follow-up process with them over the first year of adoption as well, keeping in touch, seeing if they are having any challenges, need any advice or need to chat with us, and also to, of course, see the beautiful, happy pictures that come through of these pets in their new homes, and how great they're all getting along together as well. So taking you through the kind of support that we do offer for owners. First, I want to touch on that our ultimate win here is for a pet to stay in their home that they currently have. If we can help them with that, we will. And that is the biggest win, because that means that a pet is happy and safe and still in their current home with their owners. And also on the other end of things, it leaves a home open for another pet that is looking for a home. If that pet doesn't need to move and just needs some support, then we would love to try and offer that to the owners and keep that pet happy in their home. So Home2Home isn't suitable for every pet, and we're very upfront with that with owners. Sometimes what we can offer isn't suitable. So our pet may need more support to ensure that they are safe and happy in the rehoming program, in the rehoming process. There might be some additional behaviour support that they need, which the owner that they currently have can't provide them, but they're not at the point where they could also move straight into a new home. Or maybe they just isn't enough time that the owner has to complete the entire process for Home2Home. And unfortunately, that's also a point that we wouldn't be able to help with. We advise people that they need around 4 weeks to be able to go through the Home2Home process. And that's based on our average rehoming times, which I'll touch on in a little bit. So if someone says, I am moving overseas in 2 weeks, probably not enough time for us to take them through the process, unless, they're very on the ball and maybe they have a beautiful 6-week-old kitten that is in high demand, and we could possibly get that through very quickly. But to set expectations realistically, we talk with them about that and just let them know that there is a bit of time to the process and we can't give an immediate solution for them through Home2Home. When it is the case that Home2Home isn't the suitable pathway for them, we always try and give them another option. We don't want to leave people with a brick wall and nowhere else to go. We always try to work with them to give them somewhere else to try. And then post-adoption support, we like to try and help pets and their new owners settle in together. And we find that sometimes adopters just need reassurance that it's normal for a pet to take some time to settle in, and being able to offer them that conversation and those resources we've really found helps to get them out of that stressful mindset that, oh dear, we've made a mistake, this isn't working, it's just not going right. And just being an ear for them and giving them that time to, I guess, vent their frustrations and then talk them through that this is normal. We find that that's really, really positive and provides really great outcomes in seeing that pet be able to stay in their adopted home and then work through it together. So as you can probably have to read through the slide here, owners provide us with behavioural and health information in their application, and we also discuss that more with them throughout the process. And when it comes to dogs, they talk a bit more about that on the phone call, advice and support offered to try and help them keep their pet if that is something that they would like to do, both on the owner side and the adopter side there. And when we are writing the pet profiles, we also try to include any challenges that the pet has so that we're setting realistic expectations for the adopters. We, don't go in and fluff anything up. We need to, keep it realistic so that we have successful outcomes on the other side there, and post-adoption support offered. So a quick one here to let you know that there are some fees involved with people using Home2Home. So we offer, for the owners who are wanting to rehome their pet, we ask for a pay what you can fee to enter the program. This fee, as it clearly states, is pay what you can. Whether it's $5, whether it's $200, that is completely on the owner. We want to make this accessible to as many people as possible, and we don't want a monetary fee to be what stops them from using it. So it is up to them as to what they would like to pay to use it. And this money goes into our Pet by Pet fund that helps to assist the program in 3 ways. So it helps to financially support pets that might be requiring additional assistance coming into Home2Home. So it might be that someone needs to use the program and they're facing financial difficulties and the pets' vaccinations aren't up to date, and we don't want that to be a barrier for them. So this money we can use to help them to pay for that, so the pet can come through and use Home2Home safely and not have to enter the animal welfare system in other areas. We also use this money to donate to partner organisations who provide a safety net service. A quick example of this is our friends at PetRescue in Victoria. They are a safety net for us. So what this means is that if any cats are adopted in Victoria and within the cooling off period, which is 14 days, something isn't going right, but the owner also can't take them back and the new adopter can't hold on to them to rehome them, Maneki Neko are there to take the cats in and to provide a safe fallback so that we know that these cats are in good hands, and we provide them with financial assistance for taking those cats in. And then on the other side, we also donate some of this money on an ad hoc basis to other organisations as well that that take in the pet when the original owner can't. So maybe it's that we need to get it transported to someone, and we'll help to pay for that money to get them there. And then on the adoption fee side of things, owners cannot sell their pets via PetRescue and via the Home2Home program. So the adoption fee goes directly to PetRescue, and it's used to support this program and other vital services that we provide in the animal welfare space. This was a key strategy of ours here to prevent people from using the program for the wrong reasons. So to prevent breeders or people trying to profit off pets from using the program to get in front of our audience and an audience of pet lovers. So by them not being able to make any money off the program, it's not desirable for them to come through and use Home2Home. So they would rather use likes of other marketplace platforms to do that, where they can directly gain the funds. So this is just a few little snippets of feedback that we've received, and if you do want to read more and interested in that, I'll share these presentation afterwards with Nell and you can click through and read it. But it's feedback like this that has really shown us that how we as an animal welfare industry need to support people and their pets together. It's not just about one or the other. It is really about the bond between both of them. And the most common feedback that we get is that people really appreciated the personalized support throughout the whole process, and that it made a really difficult situation that little bit more bearable. These people don't want to have to be giving up their pets, and there's a range of reasons as to why they have to do it. It's the last resort. And by just giving them that ear and that guidance throughout the process, yes, we hear that just, it helps to make it just that little bit more bearable. So why work together? You might be asking, and I'm here to help you with that. So here's a few stats that I just wanted to show you. So this is a time frame of Feb last year to this year. What I need to note about this time frame is that we were actually closed. We actually closed the program for approximately 6 weeks last April and May. Due to resources, we were just getting inundated with people wanting to use the program, and we didn't have enough resources to help everybody. So we had to close it for a bit. And then when we did reopen, we reopened to a reduced intake, so not the whole of Australia. So these numbers that I'm showing you here are not quite a full year and not Australia-wide. And we feel that it's already like really positive numbers here. So we're really looking forward to seeing what those numbers might be when we can open up a bit more and help people and pets in even more areas. These numbers are mainly for Victoria and New South Wales, cats and dogs, and other animals Australia-wide, mostly rabbits, guinea pigs, chickens, had a rooster, had a bearded dragon, and had 2 miniature ponies. So, it's a bit of everything here. You can see here, pets adopted, cats and dogs are really on par. We're not seeing a tendency yet one or the other, both the same there. And you can see also with the average age of pets, it's not puppies and kittens. We actually don't get them very often. And it is those teenage years for that. And you know what, if we can give those cats and dogs that we sometimes see struggle in the animal welfare system, because they're around that kind of, I don't know, awkward teenage age, we are seeing really positive results with that age group, and that just, that makes my heart so happy to see that there are people out there, when there's the opportunity to adopt them at that age, we are seeing them move through, and we're seeing them move through at a decent rate here. Median time to adoption there, dogs just under 20 days, cats in the 24, and even other pets 28 days, all under a month there. So owners being able to keep their pets for that 19 to 28 day time period really makes a big difference with regards to spaces being taken up in shelters and kennels. If they can keep them in that time frame, then we can definitely look to be helping them there. And not only that, it's less stress on the pet, only having to do that one move from their current home into their new home, and not spending that month in another area, being able to keep them at home there. That just makes the transition a lot better for everybody. And I just wanted to flag a few stats here with you. There's a report that just came out, which I'm happy to share with you as well. There's a link there. It's a paper that was done, and a study on predictors of successful diversion for cats and dogs away from shelters, and looked at the rehome program in America. It's a really interesting paper if you're keen to read it. But what they found here, this is in America, overall, when offered this option, 87.1% of dogs and 85.7% of cats were successfully diverted from shelters. And out of that, we're looking over 30% of each were actually kept by their owners when given that additional support and able to be able to take another pathway. And cats and dogs there with longer rehoming deadlines were over twice as likely to keep or adopt their animal out. So when they had more time and being able to actually keep their pet at home and given another option, they tended to be able to keep them. And we've seen that as well here in Home2Home. An example for you is a bonded pair of dogs, and their owner was having to rehome them because work situation not being around enough. Dogs just weren't getting what she felt was the time that they needed. And had those dogs just been surrendered straight away, that would have been end of story. They would have gone into the system and hopefully found another home. But the lady came through the Home2Home program, put the dogs up through that. And then during the time that they were up for adoption, she actually got a new job. And that new job meant a move to Tasmania on a bigger property, working from home. And that meant that she could take her dogs with her. And all of a sudden, she was able to keep her dogs because she was bought extra time by using Home2Home and putting these dogs through rehoming herself. It ended up, the outcome that we all love to see, and that these dogs were able to stay at home. And had she needed to surrender those dogs in the first place, there would be no chance for her to have got them back and moved on with them to her new life. So yeah, seeing here that people who are able to keep them, it does actually see that they often over 30% of the time end up keeping their pets in general, which, yeah, it is the win that we all love to see. So moving into here, this Home2Home option and how it could apply to you and your facility and with your council. It gives a new rehoming option to pet owners. So even if it is just that you are recommending this to people, that's giving them another option and another pathway to take when needing to rehome their pet. And it's an additional strategy for you to put in place with your staff and to share with the wider team that you work with. It reduces admin in the shelters by being able to direct home owners to Home2Home and our program page, whether you tell them in a phone call, whether you have a link on your website, whether you flick them a link via email, just being able to do that already, helping to reduce the admin that you see by taking the pets in instead. It reduces intake, as we've already spoken about before, and it showcases this option to other animal management branches as a life-saving alternative and a way to reduce their intake and administration as well. If they see that you're doing it and it's working well for you, it helps to spread that and hopefully let others see that there is another option out there available for them too. And also letting your community know that you're involved in additional support services to help them and to help their pets, should it ever come to them needing that. Oh, thank you, Di. Thank you for your comment. And moving here to let you know about the program criteria. So if you find that this is something that you might be interested in adding to your range of tools that you have, I'd just like to give you a little bit of a rundown as to some of the criteria for people. So as I mentioned before, time can vary until a new home is found. This partially relies on the speed of the owners to get information to us. Some we can find can get it all to us and get through the process in 24 hours and have a pet listed and ready to go, and others can take weeks. So that is kind of a bit of a vital criteria. If someone is on a tight deadline, we do need to say to them, a lot of this can be in your court. We do need you to be working fast then if we've got a tight deadline to work to. But overall, in general, we need the owner to be able to care for their pet until a new home is found, or have an alternative and a friend or a family member that can care for the pet until a home is found. As you would know, some pets can be up and adopted in a matter of days, and some can be around for longer than that. So we can't put an exact time frame, unfortunately, for people, but we try to help guide them as much as they can. The pet is required to be vaccinated, desexed, and microchipped. This is for cats and dogs, and the requirement can vary a bit for other types of pets, also depending on what the rules and regulations are within those states. We do make consideration for young undesexed pets on a case-by-case basis. We have had some younger ones come in that aren't at the age that they could be desexed yet, and when that has been the case, we have amendments to our adoption contract and a bond that needs to be paid for that, and we so far have had 100% of the cases have gone and got desexed at the age that they can do, and we've been able to refund that desexing bond, and it's all gone great. So yes, we require proof of vaccination on that and from their vet, and we really monitor those closely. So there are considerations that can be made for young pets, particularly now we're in kitten season, seeing people come through with little ones where they might have found them on their property, or their cat may have had kittens and they need help there. We do make case-by-case assessments on some of those. And as I mentioned before as well, ones that might come through that haven't had a vaccination recently and might need that, we look at ways that we could help to support that as well. If we don't want vet work fees to be a barrier, and if we can help in those cases, we do want to. And also the last one there, that home-to-home is the most suitable option for the pets. As I mentioned, we understand that it's not the best option for all pets. Some don't have the time, some need more support, but we try to help where we can and how we can. And yeah, if we can't, we try to give them some other options and where to go with that. So at the moment, as I mentioned, we are currently limited in our reach due to our resources. So we're not open in every state, but definitely happy to talk about that with you, depending on where you are, and seeing how we might be able to help in those instances. We do have exciting plans in place, as I said, coming up, allowing us to move this onto the platform a bit more to help us use tech to solve some of those funnels that we are facing with the resources, and allowing us to open our doors a bit wider this year. So please keep an ear out, keep in contact with us on our communications if that's something that you're interested in, or as I said there, have a look at the website. One thing I would like to know that from you all is that if this was something that you were wanting to use or offer to your the members, the owners that live in your vicinity, what is it that would be helpful for you to share it with them? What other resources could you use? Is it something like a flyer? Is it something pre-written that we could give you that you email to them? We'd love to know these sorts of things from you. And lastly, I just wanted to touch on other ways that PetRescue offers support for yourself and for our members and for the general public. We do pet food donations and vet products and accessories to members, and also to food banks who directly can help owners in need. We have resources and information for all types of users on our platform, whether it be member rescue organisations, whether it be adopters, or whether it be for current pet owners who have had a pet for a while and coming across a challenge. We have a dedicated help desk for support, whether that be, we have one that's directly for member rescue organisations, and one for our general public. There's a rescue directory on our website to help you search for all rescue organisations in your area, should you be looking to team up with one, or to get some assistance, or to ask them some questions. All rescue organisations using our platform have gone through a screening process and have had a reference check, so that we can ensure that those following our code of ethics are the ones using our platform. We excitedly have just last week launched our AI profile writing bot. So when you are loading a profile, all you need to do now is throw in a few dot points about the pet, and our little AI bot will help bring that to life for you, and cuts down an incredible amount of admin work. They're getting some assistance in that profile writing space, and we use it for Home2Home, and it's been an absolute game changer for us in cutting down our admin time. We have over 500,000 website visitors every month. So these are people coming and looking for pets and looking for information around adopting. And we have a pet adopted every 10 minutes from our platform. And even better than all this, it's all free for you to use. So if anything of that is of interest to you, please reach out. We'd love to talk to you a bit more about it. Yeah, and I'd love to hear from you if you have questions, if you have feedback, if you have any ideas for our program, or even if you just want to share pet photos and memes with me. I enjoy those too very much. So you can reach me at home2home@petrescue.org.au. And I really thank you for your time today, and for taking an hour or so out and learning about other ways to help people and their pets.
Thanks, Laura. I think any program that helps us to reduce intake is just so valuable. So to have all of the support that PetRescue supplies, plus now this new program, is quite amazing. And I think that if organisations aren't using PetRescue yet, please make sure you have a look at it, contact the guys there. It's really easy to set up. And the amount of coverage it can give you across Australia, if you ask anybody where they look to search for a pet, including those of us in the industry, it's PetRescue. And so if you've got pets in your facility that need to find new homes, or you've got people wanting to bring pets in, to have it all in one place is really valuable. So thank you from all of us for setting it up. We wish you all the very best of luck. It's all down to resources, isn't it, for all of us?
For all of us. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. So this next step is really exciting, that we are wanting to use tech to help us to do this in a better way, and help us to take some of those really manual tasks that we do, just like I said, with the profile writing, which is available to everyone now, just to be able to use tech in that way to cut down some time, so that it can be dedicated to more of that one-on-one owner support for our Home2Home team. Is it's
a huge one, because those of us in local government or not-for-profits, or wherever we may work, we're not the ones who are tech savvy necessarily, and to have you guys do this work and then go, here you go, now you can use it, it's pretty amazing. So it's a really fantastic resource. So thank you so much for your presentation today. If there are any questions, please speak now before we let Laura get on with her very hot day in WA. We really appreciate your time today, Laura, and we look forward to seeing you perhaps at maybe an in-person event or another webinar in the future. So
thank you for those of you.
Yeah, those of you who have attended today, thank you so much for taking the time. Keep an eye on our e-news and social media for any upcoming announcements that might be made very soon. And always feel free to send us through suggestions for topics or for presenters that you'd like to see featured in this webinar series. So thanks again, everybody. Take care, and we'll see you all soon.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.